Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on this journey. 10-minute leaders live, the XL show with me, Graham Brown. 10 minutes with different leaders from different aspects of life, technology, business, society. We're going to get personal now. We're going to learn a little bit more about men and really dive into their minds and their bodies. So to do that, Rebecca Lowrie joins us from the UK. Rebecca, welcome to the show.
Hi, Graham. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. And we were having a good chit chat off air there as well. You've got a very interesting accent. For those that are probably listening in and probably thinking, where is Rebecca from? Because you may get two different opinions from how she sounds. Rebecca, put us at ease here. What's the answer?
The answer is I was born in America, but I've lived here in the UK longer, a lot longer. So I have a
Right.
weird mishmash thing going on.
A mishmash thing. It's a hybrid, I think the word that you're looking for.
Hybrid.
All
Thank you.
right. So we've got 10 minutes together to talk about what you do. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay. So off the bat, the first question is, do you have a business card, Rebecca? And if you do, what's on it? And if you don't, what would be on it?
Great question. I don't have one currently. If I did, it would say Rebecca Lowrie. It might say The Sexual Alchemist, or it might just say Sexual Alchemy. It would have my website and it would have my email.
What is
And my
sexual alchemy?
logo. Well, the succinct answer to that is that it's several things at once, a bit like how light can be a wave or a particle. So sexual alchemy it's a process that kind of comes through me. It's a journey, it's transformation. And it's also something that I only felt comfortable claiming publicly in the last couple of years, which is it's a particular energy transmission that comes through me that does the work.
You focus mainly on men. What's the issue
Yes.
with men? We're not the best expressive emotional beings, are we? We've got a lot of hang up issues. And you're in the UK as well, which I think we probably have more than most people as well. Or maybe that's more of a Hollywood representation of British men, the Hugh Grant type emotionally constipated characters. What's the reality?
Well, interestingly, I work with men all over the world because I can work via Zoom, although my heart lies in working with people in person. So some people come to the UK especially for that. And you know what? I've worked with men, every race, religion, background, culture, you name it. And everyone, all the men I've worked with, I guess, have some issues around bodies and intimacy and pleasure and sexuality and sharing emotions and all the stuff that makes you enjoy intimacy and connection. There's always something. We've all been repressed or suppressed or shut down.
Do men particularly face it more than women?
I think men struggle to get help for it more than women. I think we all suffer with it in our own unique ways. But women talk to each other, they talk to their pals or their sister, or they, in some sort of group situation or even, the taboo around asking for help, whether that's counseling or coaching or something seems to be less around women. I think it's getting better for men. I think it's growing as a potential. There's a lot of mental health awareness out there for men. There's a lot of coaching for men. And even something I'm really delighted about in the business world, which historically has been man heavy, there's a lot of awareness around personal development and self-improvement and mental health now. So I think it's emerging for men.
There's a lot of talk of words like vulnerability now, isn't there? And we were chatting off air about that whole idea of man up. And, as a young male growing up, and any young male growing up around the world, manning up was real. It basically meant sucking it up and not admitting any kind of vulnerability in any sense, whether that be in personal intimacy in relationships or business, isn't it?
Right.
You have to be this heroic figure. And being heroic meant being the alpha.
Right.
The big monkey, if you like. So that causes all kind of problems. That seems to me, Rebecca, is like you're dealing with something which is thousands of years old. And to unpack that, you really are swimming upstream do sometimes you feel like the challenge is massive or too big?
I used to. I went through a few phases. So I've been doing this particular work for 15 years. And there were phases in the work where I was like, it's too big, it's too much. I can't do it. I can't fix everyone. Like I can't. There's such deep fundamental issues going on. And also that came with that was the sort of taboo of doing the work, being a woman working with sexuality and working with men's sexuality had its own kind of stigma attached to it. So over the years, there were times I tried to leave it. I wanted to walk away. It was too much. A few years ago, though, I actually tried to bridge the practices and techniques and things that I teach into the business world, because I think that some people call what I do conscious sexuality. I'm a bit loose with that, but it's about bringing consciousness to how you are in the bedroom. And there's an emerging field of business, which is conscious business. And the skills and things that you need are very much the same, because they're life skills. They're human skills. And so I was trying to bridge my work into that, because I thought, oh, I'll just leave the sexuality behind. It's too much. I'll just go over here. I'll have an impact there. And it was good in that I still think it's a really important emerging field, but it was not my remit. It's just not what I was given to do. And I went and I was unhappy, and I had a session with a friend of mine who is my mentor. She taught me a lot of the intuitive things that I do. And she looks intuitively at it, and she said, honey, I'm looking at you from every lens I can find, every angle I can see you, and you were just put here to transform men's sexuality. That's what you were meant to do. Yes, some of your skills would work in this emerging conscious business. Maybe you'll do some of that at some point, but you just need to go back to working with men. And I mean, I feel emotional even saying it now. It was like a truth clanger. And then since then, it's not too much. I'm very specific about what I do and who I do it for and how I do it. And that ownership has meant it's not too much.
Well, you only have one life. So we don't have a lot of time to spread across all these different battles that we have to pick, right?
Right.
And, you have one calling, one energy, and it's to focus on that area. So what is it with yourself, do you think, that your gift is, your superpower, if I can call it that means that you've dedicated 15 years to this, Rebecca?
I know what my superpower is, because before I knew that it was a superpower and how to use it for good, it got me in a lot of trouble. The superpower is that I can look into a man's eyes and call him present. And what happens is his full true self that existed before all the conditioning and all of the shit and all of the pain and the trauma and all of that, that part of him will come forward, and I can see him. Now, what that meant when I didn't know that was my superpower is that I would think that was who I was getting in a relationship with and find out later, that, oh, he's not living as that. That is who he is at his core, but he's not living as that. But in my sessions, and again, I'm getting emotional talking about it, I can look into his eyes, into my client's eyes. I can see that part of them. And what that does is there's a like a quantum physics thing that happens, because he can feel it alight. He can feel it coming. It's not that it comes into existence. It's already there, but he can get beyond all the crap that was in the way of it. And it starts to take root in his awareness. And then we go from there. That's my superpower.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Where does that come from?
Sorry, I just blew on the mic. I don't know. I've always been really interested in people. Everything that I've ever studied has been about people, how they work, how they tick, what they're into. And this is a bit personal, but, when I was exploring sexually as a late teen, early 20s, I realized that I wasn't really interested in what your favorite music was or what your favorite color was. It's like, if I could have sex with you, I would really know you. So that's probably another superpower, actually. And there was something in that. And so I think that ability and the being able to see someone's full self or true self or whatever you want to call it, I think they must just be gifts that I was given to do this work with, because I don't know where else they come from.
Yeah.
They're great when you know what they are and how to use them properly.
Well, you get straight down to probably what's really important to people, and in terms of relationships as well,
That's
and
it.
what really connects us, and often what's not
Yeah,
talked about as well. I think these are still taboo subjects. And how are you finding it in the
very
UK,
much.
in the sense that, you know, I say from the UK, and you've probably lived in the UK longer than me. So, you know, we have a tradition of being quite stiff upper lip and talking about these things. Are you noticing positive change? Are people more open about this stuff now? Is there still a lot of work to do?
I think both. I think that there's definitely still a lot of work to do. I think that, you know, society or culture hasn't stopped reinforcing negative ideas, what it means to be a man, what it means to be sexual. So it's like the damage is still occurring. It's maybe less than it was because it's safer now for men to show feelings and be vulnerable and get help, you know, but the damage is still occurring. So it's a bit of both. It is getting better and damage is still being done.
Yeah, it's fascinating as a subject, Rebecca. Very interesting. I'm sure people would be curious to find out more about you as well. Where do we go to find out more about you?
The best way to find me would probably be my website, sexualalchemy.com. And I believe Rebecca.com points to it as well. And I'm all over social media. Well, probably not whatever the young kids are using these days, but everywhere else, either my name or Sexual Alchemy.
Fantastic. Rebecca Lowrie, everybody. She's got a podcast as well, so check that out. So, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today.
I do. Thank you. That was great. I really enjoyed it.